What's up, fantasy managers? This is our Week 10 reaction. We're going to go over the news that happened over the weekend. You got some trade targets that we want to go over. And our start of the weeks. Tyler definitely saved us. And then we got the smashes and crashes. The people who did good and people who did bad. I know you're interested, so stick around for 7 seconds.
You can do it!
What's up, Zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard Ethan Wolf, coming at you live from the West Coast. And this is the Fantasy Red Zone. Today's episode, we have our starts of the week that we are going to go over. Jason, I killed it. Jason is all hot and pollard by his start of the week. Jason, we have our smashes and our crashes. That is the meat of this episode. So if you're looking to see why your player sucked ass, maybe go to the crashes. Hey, if you want to see why your player did so well, go to the smashes. See if they are there. They should be time stamped if YouTube is working correctly, Jason. And then also, we have some trade scenarios we're going to run through real fast. We do have a trade special coming out on Friday. That is a big episode because the trade deadline is coming up soon. Make or break that shit. Jason, please tell the public how they can help this show.
Yeah, you guys could hit the subscribe. You can also press the like. We like the likes. Leave us a comment. Let us know if you had any players who smashed or who crashed. If you're in the radio, we're also on Spotify at the Fantasy Red Zone.
Thank you, Jason. All right, man. Let's get into the news for you section, the latest breaking fantasy football news. Jason, you probably had to get another pair of pants, man. Maybe your pants just got real small, real tight all of a sudden. Achane is back and expected to play this week.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what I was doing. I was doing like this weird motion.
I don't have your face up. All I heard was some crazy, mac and cheese stirring noises. I'm not really sure what that was.
Oh, I'm so hungry right now. I have no doubt Jason, he's going to be ready for Sunday.
You doubt it?
I have no doubt.
You have no doubt. Are you starting him?
Yeah, absolutely. I told you this like a couple of weeks ago that the Dolphins felt like this was just to be cautious. Like he actually didn't need the 4 weeks. I have to believe Mike Daniels because he makes me laugh. So,
Jason, it's so funny. I did hear that he could have came back earlier and played with a brace. They decided to play it safe. If I'm an Achane owner and you survive this long, I am glad that happened. If you're an Achane owner, just like a lot of people, Jason is a Kyren and Achane owner. 2 dudes out at the same time. Some people are desperate, but hey, man, Achane, I am a Mostert owner. I tried to trade him away last week. I'm trying to trade him again before this week starts. I'm not looking forward to this. I think Achane is going to retake that running back 1 role along with the goal line carries, Jason. So
good.
Because I remember watching those games and I was like, yeah, goal line, that's Mostert territory. Nope. Fuck no, dude. That was Achane hobbled in there, man. Went real fast to the end zone. Jason, Matthew Stafford, this is big for me. My pants are getting tight. Matthew Stafford injured that thumb a couple weeks ago. He is expected to start week 11. I don't have a thumb fetish. I don't know if that's what you're thinking, Jason. Oh, man, I'm getting... Is expected to start week 11. I am a Puka owner, Jason. I'm a Puka owner. I need this fool to play for Puka to be startable. If he does play, I'm starting Puka, dude, immediately.
Yep. All the Cooper Cups and the Puka Nauka.
Yeah, I mean, Cooper Kupp hasn't had a good game in over a month, Jason.
I know. And hopefully, for all those owners out there, Matthew Stafford will change that. But
yeah. And then, all right, Jason. So, Jaylen Warren. Also, Matthew Stafford, I see that he's on a lot of waiver wire shows or a lot of waiver wires in different leagues. Would you pick him up and start him, Jason? It seems like his, even though he's got 2 top 15 wide receivers, does not translate to like fantasy success.
Not for the quarterback, no, because he's not going out there and throwing like 3 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, it's like either or. Like Puka gets a touchdown or Kupp gets a touchdown, but they both get a ton of receptions. It's just kind of counterintuitive how somebody can have 2 top 15 wide receivers but not be startable themselves.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jason, I saw this. You are a Jaylen Warren owner. I don't know if you saw this, but there was a news article going out right now saying that he was announced as the starter before the game was, before the game or something like that. Right before the game started, he was announced as the starter.
Well, he's a better running back.
Well, Najee Harris has been averaging 15 points a goddamn game over the last month, which is pretty crazy. After averaging 6 points a game for the first half of the season. So, but yeah, dude, Warren got that long touchdown, but you did not see that as a Warren owner, Jason. You didn't get a notification that he was a starter or anything like that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I still saw it down. It appeared to me it was still 50-50 when I was watching that game.
Yeah, and from what I can gather and what my opinion is as well, is it doesn't matter who the fucking starter is on that team. The splits will be the same, 50-50 pretty much. So until Jaylen Warren's just a full-time starter, I really don't care. I mean, he's barely a flex. And then Jason O'Connell, my coach of my Vikings, I'm saying mine, whatever, not giving a timetable on Justin Jefferson's return just yet. He does say he is ramping up. He's ramping it up, man. He's ramping up. So until he ramps down to the field, we will have no idea. But yeah, dude, a lot of people traded for Justin Jefferson, and they are anxious. Hopefully they are surviving, Jason, to get him on the field. Joshua Dobbs is giving me a lot more faith in Justin Jefferson returning and scoring.
Yeah. After what we saw with TJ Hawkinson, is he knows who the best players are on the team and will target them.
One thing though is, Jason, he could just go hyper TJ Hawkinson the rest of the year. Part of me wanted to try to trade for TJ Hawkinson and somebody because I've got Kelsey, but I don't even think the Hawkinson owner would even do that now. So yeah, Justin Jefferson, no timetable just yet. We are waiting for him. Jason, Zach Taylor says it will be tough for what's his name? Is it TJ Higgins? What's his fucking name?
T. Higgins?
T. Higgins, thank you. I knew there's a T in there somewhere. T. Higgins to be ready in time for Thursday. Apparently, Jason, I have not looked yet. Thursday Night Football is the Bengals versus somebody.
The Ravens. So
they actually have a good Thursday Night Football game.
So I pause T. Higgins.
I would pause on him too. I think that you are covering the Bengals, Jason. No, They're not playing at Baltimore.
They are playing at Baltimore.
That's crazy because Baltimore's had two home games in a row, and they dominate at home. All right, I know they just lost that game, so at home, but still, Jason, running back Alexander Madison is in the concussion protocol. That's why Ty Chandler came in and did well, got a touchdown, looked okay. Ty Chandler, probably a low-end running back too next week because nobody makes it through concussion protocol in time except for Brock Purdy.
Who are the Vikings playing against next week? Do you know?
I have no idea, dude. I've got my mind so full of other teams, I can't just focus on mine. I wish. Oh, you know what? I could look at this.
Because I don't have any running backs, I'm probably going to have to start Chandler. So hopefully it's a good matchup.
Do you have Chandler?
Yeah.
Minnesota is hosting. Wait, that just happened. I was like, wait, they're hosting New Orleans. I was like, oh my God. Can't get the Jameis Winston 2 weeks in a row, dude. But Minnesota is at Denver. Shit, I should have known that, Jason. So, yeah. That's a good place to start running backs, even though they've been turning up as of late.
Looks like Chandler's going in. I'm putting him in, coach.
He's back on the menu, boys.
He's back on the menu, boys.
Jason, speaking of New Orleans, Derek Carr dealing with a concussion and a fucking AC joint sprain again. So, will he be playing? Did you see, dude, it was one target and 20 yards or 12 yards for Chris Olave in 20-something or 30 minutes with Derek Carr. In 15 minutes with Winston, it was fucking 9, everything. 9 targets, a touchdown, 20 yards called back.
Yeah, I was going up against Chris Olave, but dude. You know what's good for the league is Jameis Winston, man. He is so... I was watching that game, and when he came in, and he, his first, 5 passes were, 30 yards down the field. I was like, dude, this guy is awesome. One of his touchdowns was, cross-field, 20 yards. He just threw a bullet. It was a horrible throw, but he don't care, dude. He don't
He's great
care.
for fantasy. I started him every game when he threw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions or whatever the fuck that was. He had 5,000 yards that year, dude. And I had Godwin as well. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah, his average air yards is gotta be ridiculous. He's so crazy,
But
man.
dude, Olave, you better hope that Derek Carr is injured for a while. They do have a bye next week, Jason, so you do not get the fruits of this just quite yet. It has to wait.
Mm.
Also, though, on that same team, Michael Thomas dealing with a significant knee injury. No news yet. They're hoping to hear by the bye. So Michael Thomas, Derek Carr, all injured. Chris Olave, dude, if there was a game next week, he'd get fucking 30 targets.
Yeah.
All right,
Start
Jason.
of the week.
Dude, yeah, no shit. Ooh, that was sticky. All right, Fields. Justin Fields, week 11 status still up in the air. He has not been medically cleared to return with his thumb just yet. If he does, I don't think it matters how much strength he has or not. He will go in instead of Tyson Bagent. So keep an eye on him to play if you're waiting for him.
DJ Moore owners are praying to the Madden gods that this happens.
Do you want 50? Do you want 5 receptions for 55 yards? Fucking start DJ Moore. Jason, last thing, Baker Mayfield got his thumb fucked up as well. He got it checked out today. It is not significant. He will not miss any time, including practice. I think that is huge for Mike Evans owners. Because Mike Evans, dude, is still killing it. I said he had a great matchup, dude. I wish I would have gone. The wide receiver matchup stuff on PFF is so accurate. It's crazy. I did the Kenneth Walker. I did the running back version this week, and Kenneth Walker got by the skin of his teeth, Jason.
I know. He saved us, dude.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that here in actually like 30 seconds. So, Jason, that is the news. Can you think of anything off the top of your head that I missed?
No, not at this time.
Okay, so we have starts of the week. I have my secret start of the week. I'll go over that real fast. Jason, Michael Wilson, he came out 3 receptions on 4 targets. Him and Trey McBride were pacing the team on targets. And then it all went downhill, dude. I don't know what happened. It just all went to McBride. Hollywood started getting involved. But I do want to say, so he did get tackled at the 1 yard line. Michael Wilson did.
No, the 1 inch line.
So remember when I was saying this, so if you want to make bets on Michael Wilson, I think that he's a good pickup anyways, regardless. He is the team's leading wide receiver against zone. Like I said, he's got 77 fantasy points against zone, whereas Hollywood has 65. So
yeah, did you see that tackle?
Oh, did you actually watch it?
Yeah, he just it was a nice little screen pass. Quick little screen pass. He was able to break 2 tackles. He just wasn't able to break the 3rd.
All right. So Wilson, I'm gonna give myself a strike. I think he only got 5 points. I started him. I think I got 4 or 5 points from him. Kind of sucked. Maybe I got 6. I don't remember. But still, double digits is what I want for my secret start. And I do think that you should go pick him up again against zone-heavy teams. I think that he's going to be great. And Kyler Murray looks pretty good. He's going to get nothing but better. And Jason, what was that? Oh, yeah. Your start of the week. You're hot and Pollard by it.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Tony Pollard. Cowboys scored 49 points yesterday, and here are the players who had a monster game. Dak Prescott, 40 points. CeeDee Lamb, 35 points. Brandon Cooks, 28 points. Michael Gallup, 14 points. Jake Ferguson, 10 points. Backup running back who is on my bench, Rico, oh my God, I think I spelled his name wrong.
Dowdle?
Yeah, Dowdle, I think his name, Rico Dowdle. Yeah, he's on my bench. 13 points. The leading back for the Dallas Cowboys, Tony Pollard.
It was all garbage time, Jason.
I don't care. 5 lousy points, man. He got his 15 carries, but only had 55 yards. Now, this could have easily been a great game for him because of his opportunities inside the 10-yard line. 2 of his carries inside the 5 landed on the 1 yard line, but it doesn't matter because he didn't score. The next play, I think, went to Jake Ferguson, And on the other time, he stopped at the 1 yard line. I can't remember what happened, but it wasn't him who scored. Oh, I think they were turnover on downs. But is it safe to say that Tony Pollard is a bust for 2023? Next week they play against the Panthers.
He is voted the biggest bust of the year by Reddit so far. So there was a thread about it. It was agreed upon. Biggest bust of the year. Jason, guess how many quarters it has been since Tony Pollard has got a touchdown?
I think he's only scored in the first week against the Giants.
30 quarters. 3-0. It's been 30 quarters since Tony Pollard has scored a touchdown. So,
yeah.
Shitty there, but yeah, dude, it's just the game scripts don't work out for him. I mean, dude, blowout, 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 blowout. It's fucking nuts. And he's never on the I forget what blowout he's done well in one of the 5 blowouts so far this year for the Cowboys.
Yeah, it was against the Giants.
Yeah, so the odds are it's not gonna. If it's a blowout, he's gonna fucking suck. So
this is one of those games going into where I was like, this isn't a Dak Prescott game. He's not going to need to throw the ball as much as he did. He did. He didn't need to when it was 28-0, but he still did. And everyone benefited except Tony. Oh, Tony.
Because you know that pizza? He has his own pizza. It's called Tony's.
I miss Tony's pizza.
No, dude, there's like the frozen Tony's. It's like a fucking $1. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like, you know, it's the pepperonis are cubes.
Oh, yeah, I remember those. Those are good too. I grew up on those pizzas.
I mean, Jason, what do we eat more than goddamn round table pizza at your house? I mean, that's all we ate. Last time we had round table pizza, I was like, holy shit. It's nothing like drinking some Sky vodka and Diet Pepsi with some not round table. That's fucking high. That's too high class.
Tombstone.
Some Tombstone pizza.
Tombstone pizza.
That's how did I get cancer again, Jason? Remind me.
Those pepperoni cubes.
Those fucking pepperonis, dude. Tony, you bitch.
That's why they said it's $1 because there's a chance of cancer.
Yeah, I always read those signs, like motherfucker. All right, Jason. My start of the week. But Jason has been on fire with the starts of the week. I can't remember, but I think he's had like 3 or 4 in a row. Maybe even more. Good starts of the week. Jason, my last week was Amari Cooper, and that went well. And then this week was Kenneth Walker, because everybody's talking shit about him. He got outsnapped in the last 2 weeks. Fucking like 6 points, like 7 fantasy points. I was like, dude, this is it. This is the matchup. And then that PFF article kind of sealed it for me. And he was saved, Jason, by that not running the ball like I thought he was going to be doing, but he caught that 60-yard touchdown pass. So
yes,
and it was all himself. He didn't even have. I don't even think he had blocking in front of him, and it looked really good. But still, he got outsnapped again. Jason, did you know that?
Yeah, because I was watching that game, and towards the end, he wasn't even involved. It was
so he got outsnapped again. He did have a 75% rushing share, which is great. But I'm telling you, I'm a Kenneth Walker owner right now. I have a trade in for Jonathan Taylor. I'm going to be sending shit everywhere, wherever I can. We'll be talking about this in detail here in a minute. But yeah, Jason. So Kenneth Walker, I hit it big. I think he was projected like, whatever, in the teens, low teens, and he scored like 20 points, 21 points. But yeah, Kenneth Walker, cash out on that dude. You have one more week. He's at the Rams next week. And then, dude, fucking insanity as far as strength of schedule goes after that.
Yeah, I was watching the Cowboys game and the Seattle game, and I was like keeping an eye on both our players, and they were both like 40 yards. And I was like, dude, we're both going to like dud it up. And then I just saw that little, dump pass to him, and he just like took it, and he ran, and he kept running. And the cool thing about our league is that we get 3-point bonuses for touchdowns over 50 yards. So that was like a 60, 70-yard touchdown that he got. So he got 3 extra.
Yeah, it really helped me out. And plus, the people I'm going to be trying to trade to, I got those extra points as well.
Yep.
He hit good. 21 miles an hour, Jason. I think that was the 3rd fastest running back time on the week. The 2nd fastest on the Seattle Seahawks this year. So he is still good. I still love Kenneth Walker. I just don't think that he is last year, dude, was something special. So, and now Charbonnet, dude, again, just chunks, chunks, chunks. But all right, Jason, let's get into some trade scenarios real fast. How about that?
Well, I was going to say, I can't remember if we were talking on the show or talking over the Xbox, but part of the reason why he was like so great last year is because he got those big plays, those breakaway plays.
Yeah.
And
I was saying, like, I went through his explosive runs, and it's like he had like 12. He has like nothing, or I can't remember what it was, but it's been gone down tremendously from last year, and he's like a full-time starter this year.
Yeah, and then we got one of them. We got one of them, and we saw what he could do when he actually has a chance to break away and run up the field.
Hey, Jason, let's start. Let's just start with Kenneth Walker right now, because he was probably the hottest topic on today. There was like some award-winning shit, I can't remember his name, dude, but he's won like these best ball tournaments since like 2018. He's cashed out like so much money and shit. And I hate best ball, but still, I trust this guy's knowledge. And ask me anything. And dude, the number one thing, like the first goddamn thing, was Kenneth Walker. What should I do with him? Because everybody knows. Everybody knows. Like what's happening. He's losing his job. Charbonnet looks amazing. And his schedule is fucking terrible. Not just for like the playoffs, but for like 8 games, dude. Like the rest of the season after the next game, because they're at the Rams, and then it's just a gauntlet. So Kenneth Walker, we're going to start off with him. Jason, let's see. Do you have any trades like specific? Because I've got some people that were mentioned in the article.
Yeah, I'll go over this fantasy calc. From experience, it looks like Tyler is having a difficulty trading just him in our league, so it's like maybe there's going to have to be some package deals.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll even throw in some shittier players or whatever just to get out of the situation, just to get Jonathan Taylor hopefully or something.
Okay, so I got 3 right here. One of them is Kenneth Walker, DJ Moore for Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Jesus Christ. Man, that's fucking crazy. I would probably do it. I would do it. Because I would do it. Do you remember, Jason? Because I keep on thinking about this. I keep on thinking that's like, oh, dude, because I keep on saying, oh, I want a piece of this Bears offense when they come back. Do you remember what that was like? Blah, blah, blah. Dude, Russell Wilson, like the grip strength issue is real, dude.
Justin Fields?
Yeah, but no, I'm saying, like, remember when Russell Wilson, that's what the downfall of Russell Wilson in Seattle. Remember his grip strength? He did something to his thumb.
Okay.
And so I'm just like, fuck. Like, is it guaranteed that Justin Fields will be the same when he comes back? No. So give me Amon-Ra, Jason. Just Amon-Ra has been like a top fucking 4 or 5 wide receiver the last month and a half. So, and the Lions schedule is pretty goddamn good. I mean, I could pull it up right now, but we were just looking at it before the show, Jason, and the Lions. I have it right here. Where's Detroit? Detroit, stand up. Why can't I see the D? Oh, DET. 17th. So they've got an average wide receiver schedule. So Amon-Ra, dude. I would do that. Because you want to get out of the Kenneth Walker situation.
And you made a good point with the Justin Fields coming back with that grip strength.
Dude, but just DJ Moore, I feel like you should be able to get one more player from that dude. You know what I'm saying? For DJ Moore and Kenneth Walker?
Yeah, well, DJ Moore right now is probably a buy low.
Oh, he for sure is. But that's the thing. And he gets targeted a lot. You got to think it's going to be better than... I would still do it because Kenneth Walker is going to be like, it's terrible, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he's already an inaccurate quarterback. How accurate are those passes going to be to DJ Moore when he returns? So, high risk, high reward. Okay, next one. Jordan Addison, Kenneth Walker for Davante Adams.
Would I try to trade for Davante Adams still? I mean, this is he just dominated. I forgot what it was. He had like 80-something% of the target of the fucking air yards last night.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But so Kenneth Walker and who again?
Jordan Addison.
Yeah, Jesus. I feel like you could get somebody different in that same kind of tier. But yeah, I mean, I probably would because what you're trading for. I was hoping I can get Josh Jacobs for Devontae Adams. I would try to go that route if I was that Adams owner. But if you're the Walker owner, yeah, I'd probably do that. How do you feel about that, Jason?
Well, Jacoby Myers ain't getting those targets anymore.
I saw that, dude. I saw that. I know.
So I'm like, okay, there's another wide receiver. Gone.
And I'm pretty sure Las Vegas, because I keep on checking this. I keep on thinking Devontae's got a good matchup. Where is it? Las Vegas Raiders. They're 18th, so they're average. They're average in the playoff schedule. Like I said, I think Josh Jacobs is a good person to trade for.
All right, one more. Kenneth Walker, Cole Kmet for Travis Etienne.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! If you can get Etienne,
do it.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I need to go and see who has Etienne, but it's your dad. Your dad wouldn't trade me, so it doesn't matter anyways. So that's a Etienne on here, if I remember correctly. I mean, I think he just has an average schedule. It's nothing crazy. Jacksonville, yeah, the 14th. Wait, no, the 19th. So not great, but pretty average. But Etienne, man, like after last week, probably it's about as low as he's gonna go right now.
Yeah.
All right, Jason, you want another one?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was so Walker. Oh yeah, or did you have one? Oh yeah, no, that's right.
I had one from TikTok.
All right, and I've got one from this was like the second most requested thing was because I don't know where this goes really, but would you trade Justin Fields, Saquon, and Tank Dell for Amon-Ra and Mixon? And this was pretty divided on the Reddit.
I mean, I love me some Amon-Ra St. Brown, USC, but oh my gosh. Joe Mixon's been so touchdown dependent. He only has like one game over 15 points.
I want to know who do you have for the trade thing here?
You mean on the fantasy calc?
Yeah, do you even have any?
No, I mean with these many players involved in the specific trade, right. It's
because I was thinking, I was like, man, I wonder, would you? I'm interested. Would you try to trade for Saquon Barkley at all?
Let me see. I could put him in real quick. I've actually tried to trade for him when he was like injured. I mean, things are a little bit different now because
me too, dude. I mean, and Tyrod Taylor can come back, I think, in 4 games or something like that, right? Or is he out for the season?
No, I don't think he's out for the season. I think he is coming back. He just I think he's just on IR, right?
Yeah, I think that trading for Saquon, only if Tyrod can come back, is a fucking smart move. And I think that you could probably do that. I think I might even be able to do that to Jason's dad, but the only problem is that Jason's dad's team's name is fucking named after, was it Help Me Saquon, You're My Only Hope or something like that?
No, it's like Obi-Kwan.
Help me, Obi-Kwan.
Obi-Kwan.
It's like, you'd have to change that shit after you trade him to me, man. So like, I don't know. I might have to look at that.
There's some crazy trade. Oh, you want to hear one?
Yeah.
Devonta Smith and Raheem Mostert for Saquon Barkley.
I would keep Smith and Mostert, dude, because you're gonna see, this is a preview, but Devonta Smith is a person that you want to trade for right now, and Mostert, I do think that he is going to be he will still be a running back 2 low end with a chance. So Saquon, there's still so much risk. Fuck, dude.
I want to do that. You don't want to trade away Smith right now.
I was gonna say, if it wasn't Devonta Smith, I would probably do it, but it's like that's already one player I'm targeting. So it kind of cancels out the whole gain of the benefit of it.
I got another Jason. One.
Okay, but I'm thinking about it right now. I need to write this down on the piece of paper. I think I'm going to try to maybe say trade for Saquon. Maybe I'm going to put that down as a maybe. I've got a lot. Okay. I've got 5 running backs to trade for already.
Okay, what about this one? Adam Thielen, Jerome Ford for Saquon Barkley.
I would rather have Ford and Thielen, but Thielen is falling off a cliff, my man.
Oh, I know.
But you're at
I
least
know.
he's still like he's not a wide receiver one anymore, but it's probably a flex. And then Ford, dude, did I have that game? I was just watching that dude, and I was like, man, that guy is good. And
He got like 10 points, 11 points. He
no,
rushed for like
no,
100
all right.
yards, I think.
I'd rather have Saquon.
Okay.
I'd rather have Saquon. I get it, but no, I think that Saquon is the much better player in that trade to the point where I'd sacrifice that and take Saquon.
Well, the good thing about Saquon is that he's not going to play the Cowboys anymore. That's out of the way. They do have an Eagles
looked at their schedule, but I'm just thinking, dude, Tyrod Taylor when they're there, they look like a functional team.
Yeah. All right, last one.
Oh God, they have the worst, Jason. The worst fantasy playoff schedule for running back.
Okay.
This is the kind of shit you need to look at, dude, before you start listen to people and trading for shit.
All right, what about Nico Collins, Derrick Henry for Saquon Barkley?
Nope, because I want Derrick Henry and Jason. Nico Collins is averaging like 22 fantasy points at home this year. 5 of his next 7 fantasy games are at home.
He just has to play.
I know. But I saw that stat today, and I was like, woo. And Derrick Henry is an all-time buy low right now, dude.
Yeah, we'll talk about him a little bit later. Okay, you want me to do the one from Tickety Talk?
Yeah, and who does that player involve?
I mean, there's like 6 of them. Okay. This player wants to know Ifina, oh my God. Ethan Acree?
Okay.
Ethan Acree 326. He wants to know if he should trade Tua, Kupp, and Garrett Wilson for Baker, Mayfield, Justin Jefferson, and DJ Moore. And this guy already has Kyler Murray.
Okay, so it's Kupp and
Garrett Wilson for Justin Jefferson and DJ Moore.
I would do Justin. So it's Kupp and who?
Garrett Wilson.
No, I would take Justin Jefferson and DJ Moore.
I think I would too. I think that would be my way to go.
So Justin Jefferson, like I said, my value on him, I was like, you guys are idiots that traded for him, ha 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 ha. And then we got Dobbs.
Yep.
And now it's not going to be Kirk Cousins, but it's not going to be fucking that Jaylen Brown or whatever our rookie was. So yeah, dude, like I think that he's going to be a low end. He's going to be a top 10 wide receiver when he comes back. And DJ Moore, like I've got because you get DJ Moore in that as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. But still, Cooper Kupp, dude, has literally had like 4 bad weeks. If I remember correctly, maybe the Rams do have an amazing schedule for playoffs. LA Rams wide receiver, yeah, they do have a really good buck, dude. That's tough, but I would go with the and who was the other? Sorry, I know I'm keep on harping on this, but
it's all right.
Who was with Cooper Kupp? Who was the guy with Kupp?
It was Cooper Kupp and Garrett Wilson.
Oh, that's right. Would you trade Garrett Wilson for DJ Moore? Who do you value more, DJ Moore or Garrett Wilson?
Well, I traded away Garrett Wilson for Jaylen Warren to get that stress out of my life. He is still getting targets, receptions. He's not getting touchdowns. I can't remember the last time the Jets even scored a touchdown. This would be one of those trades where you're banking that DJ Moore goes back to what he was when Justin Fields come back. So I feel like this trade revolves around Justin Fields' like thumb strength. So I do think it's a gamble. Roll
what,
the
dude?
dice.
You know what, dude? I take it back, looking at schedules and thinking a little bit more. God, but DJ Moore is like wide receiver 6. Yeah, no, you're right. No, I think it's a fair trade. I think it's a coin flip, but I'd rather have Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore. You're right.
I think I would too.
Just Cooper Kupp with the 60th schedule. Like, oh, that's so enticing, but I just got to remember what the fucking Rams look like. Dude, their offensive line has been falling apart. I just have them, I got to watch all the Rams games early, and that's stuck in my head, and I have to remember what they've turned into. All right, Jason. That is the trades. Again, we're going to go in depth on some targets that, what we think are the best trade targets that could win you a championship. Also, best people to trade away to get those targets, just like Kenneth Walker. I mean, that's like, he's going to be our number one running back to get rid of. It's got to be. But look at his fucking schedule, dude. It's crazy. All right, Jason, let's get into the smashes and the crashes, correct?
Yes. We're going to start with the smashes.
Smashes, Jason. I think Dak Prescott, your man.
Yes. Number one, the quarterback for smashes, Dak Prescott. ESPN projected him at 18 points. He finished with 40, 26 for 35, 404 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He also had a rushing touchdown on 17 yards, with 17 yards rushing. 74% completion percentage, which is 14% over expectation completion percentage. And a crazier stat from Prescott is that his completed air yard average and intended air yards average were the same at 11.6. I've never seen that before, but it means his average completion was longer than the first down. So this guy was just he was checking it. He was checking it. Since the Cowboys week 7 bye, he's had 29 points, 29 points, and 40 points with 11 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. At this point of the year, he has gone nuclear.
Boo, 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 boo. I wish there was some kind of graphic, like fucking, like the nuclear bomb exploding, like boo, boo, boo.
Oppenheimer, yeah. I'm trying to do like the mushroom smoke, but it just looks like I'm doing.
Don't say mushroom smoke, man. You'll get my pants are getting tight.
Okay. But yeah, he's playing well right now. He's doing well. One of those games was against division rival the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles, too. So
Jason,
yes,
like you said, the last 4 outings he gave us points, but as far as weekly fantasy finishes at his position, Jason, quarterback 1, quarterback 3, quarterback 2, and right now quarterback 1. That is like a run of that's fucking crazy, dude. I did not think that Mike McCarthy offense would support this kind of shit. He has 4 games. I think it's those 4 games, Jason, with a 90 plus PFF grade. That is the most in the NFL, and it does not say if that's for the quarterbacks or what. But that might just be at any at any position, 90 plus PFF grade for 4 games. So, dude, Dak Prescott, what the fuck? Jason, he is tied with Mahomes with the most 400 plus passing yard games since 2018 with 10. Nobody else has more than 5. Isn't that crazy?
That is very crazy. Yeah.
So, like, dude, you don't think about Dak Prescott, like, being in all these categories, but shit, man. It's helped a lot. The last 4 games has helped a lot with all these stats, these statistics, Jason.
It's crazy to see the guy in our league has him on the bench.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, what do you see moving forward with Dak? I mean,
I know his schedule is going to get a little bit tougher, but next week they play the Carolina Panthers. I expect another big game from him. And you know who's a big help for Dak Prescott is CeeDee Lamb. It's just them two, and they're doing their damn thing. They're helping each other score points fantasy wise, and it's working out. Especially getting Dak Prescott after the 10th round, most likely.
Yeah, man. And then Jason, did you see his playoff schedule?
I have looked at it, and I think it's like not good, right? Like, don't they play the Bills?
It says it's the 4th best.
Never mind.
It's all weighted schedules, dude. It's like, it's all relative. Even though it could be a bad schedule, it's all relative to everybody else's schedule. So relatively the best schedule. It's like not 3 amazing matchups, but still.
And that's week 15 through 17, correct?
Correct.
I think I was just looking at this, and
yeah, so he's like, at Buffalo, at Miami, at home versus Detroit. So what I see out of those 3 games, they're gonna have to fucking score, Jason. And
Yes.
Buffalo's defense has been shit since that their quarterback and Milano has been injured. And then Miami, dude. I mean, it's like what team is going to show up that day? And then at home versus Detroit. I mean, Detroit just had a shootout with the Chargers, so I can see that going both ways. I can see him winning some people some leagues.
So he's playing against Carolina. Then he's at Washington. We just saw what Geno Smith did. Then he plays Seattle, and we just saw what Sam Howell did. Then he's back in Then he's home against Philadelphia. Last time he scored 29 points against Philadelphia.
That's all you can do is throw on them.
Yeah, that's all. That's really all you can do. Then he's at Buffalo, at Miami, at Detroit, then at Washington again.
So, if you want to try to if you're a Mahomes owner and be like, hey, fuck it, dude, I'm going to try to trade for Dak Prescott, that could be worse, and that is insane to say. Isn't that crazy, Jason?
Yeah,
and it's crazy. Like, Dak Prescott plus. You're not fucking trading Mahomes for Dak Prescott. You're like, Mahomes plus. I mean,
yeah.
Not Mahomes plus. Dak plus.
Dak plus for Mahomie.
Like Mahomes and my Kenneth Walker for your CMC and your Dak,
Yeah. Ooh, that's crazy.
You have to throw another wide receiver in there probably too. But there are scenarios where you could trade for Dak and make your team better.
So with about 8 games left, do you think Dak could score 13 more touchdowns? Can he throw 13 more touchdowns?
With how many games?
8.
Yes.
And he'll reach the 30 touchdown mark this season, and not a lot of people believe that because of the new Texas Coast offense.
Well, hey, dude, McCarthy's an idiot, and not too long ago this offense looked god awful. So
yeah, they couldn't score in the red zone. They were like,
who knows? It could come back.
Yeah.
All right, Jason. Moving forward, next up, you ready?
All right. Yep.
He got shot 2 times, and now he doesn't walk with a limp. So he was killing it in the beginning of the year, Jason. He has fallen off dramatically to the point where this person was not started in our 12-man league. Brian Robinson.
Yep, you said it best. Like, he started where it's like, damn, this could be the pick of the year because how he was being used and how he was running, and then he's fallen off. But he's back on the smashes. He was projected 8 points, and he finished with 27. He had 8 rushes for 38 yards and 0 rushing touchdowns. Now, I know you're wondering, how the hell did Robinson score 27 points with only 38 rushing yards? Well, the answer is simple. This mofo has 6 receptions, 119 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown on 6 targets. His long was a 51-yard receiving touchdown. And like I said this before, in our leagues, there are bonuses for scoring touchdowns 50-plus yards. But he led the team in receptions and receiving yards. And do you want to know who the second on the team in receptions and receiving yards was?
Antonio Gibson.
Antonio Gibson, who also scored a receiving touchdown. Robinson's fantasy points are a product of Sam Howell's average completed air yards, which was only 2.5. But when your wide receivers are covered by, was it Tyreek Woolen?
And Witherspoon.
Your running backs need to step up, and Robinson did. He helped out. It's just a product of how the game was. I think like Jahan Dotson didn't even have a reception that game.
Dude, he ran the most routes for Washington, Jason, and he caught 0 of his 2 targets.
Yeah. Those corners for Seattle, they ain't nothing to mess with.
I thought that they would be shutting down Terry. I didn't know they'd be shutting down both of them.
Those cornerbacks, they're pretty damn good.
Yeah, Terry was coming back.
Yeah, Terry had 5 points, I think, in that game, and half-point PPR.
Yeah.
Some guy scored, and I didn't even know he was even on the team.
But yeah, Jason, like you were saying, but this is game script. It's not going to happen. I mean, when are they going to go against like 2 lockdown corners? It's like going against the Jets or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he did have a 14% target share, yesterday or whatever that was. The first time he's been over 10% all season long. So this is an outlier. He ran just 3 fewer routes than Antonio Gibson. So Antonio Gibson's usually been catching all the passes. At least he was out there catching passes today because they needed him, or yesterday. So yeah, Jason, caught all 6 of his targets, set career highs in all of his receiving things. But again, it's because those lockdown corners. So if you have Brian Robinson, I would try to trade his ass away and try to get what you can.
Sell high.
Yeah,
Massage the trade.
He is definitely a sell high, Jason. And then in the future, I think that Antonio Gibson, man, he's Jason's. We're not supposed to talk about this, but he is Jason's fantasy MVP. And man,
I saw him score, and I was like,
I keep on looking at him. I'm like, dude, this motherfucker's gonna blow up. Watch, he's gonna blow up. Like this offense, like scores so many goddamn points. Like, and I was just like, dude, this is such a much better offense than we thought it was gonna be. And Brian Robinson is looking shittier and shittier as the year goes on. Like, I'm like, Antonio Gibson, man. It's so hard for me to pick him up though. Like, I just can't. He's like 40-something% owned still.
I know. I had him for a couple of weeks in the very beginning. I drafted him. He was my MVP. I had to draft him, and I dropped him. Like a hot potato.
Yeah. Brandon Cooks, my Oregon State brethren. I worked out with Brandon Cooks once. He was at the same gym as me. I think I saw him. I don't know. It could have been him. It was in Oregon State, so the chances or the odds are greater than normal. It's not like I went to the fucking Anytime Fitness and. All right. Anyways, Jason, Brandon Cooks, you watched this game. I'm sure you did. He has a 9% target share on the season with a previous high yardage of 49, and then you got yesterday for you or Sunday.
Right. 9 receptions, 173 yards, 1 touchdown on 10 targets. Second on the team in receptions and targets, but first in receiving yards. He averaged 2.8 yards of separation, which is good, and a 90% catch rate. And that is amazeballs. Ugh. His average target air yards was 13, so he was running wild past the sticks. He did well running with the ball with a 6.9 yards after catch, a 2.2 yards after catch above expectation. This is why the Cowboys picked up Cooks in the free agency. It only took 10 weeks for this major breakout game. Does it continue? The Cowboys receiving game is pretty much, CeeDee Lamb most of the time. But was it Cooks has 3 touchdowns the last 4 games?
I was going to say, dude, because that's my one stat that I had from I was like, I guess I've got to add him to the list, man, because I saw him blow up, and I was like, I don't trust him on my waiver show. Because I was like, dude, he's got 3 touchdowns in the last 4 weeks. I think they might even have a bye in there somewhere, but yeah, dude. I mean, the target, he had 1 reception last week, I'm pretty sure, or something like that. So it is, the floor is the floor, is 0. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this, though, Jason.
I feel like heaven is so far away.
And I feel...
I can't trust him. I still can't trust him. Look all the people that blew up in this game. Like, even Michael Gallup had a great game. Brandon Cooks had a great game. They were playing home against the Giants. The Giants are likely the worst team in the NFL. Like, that's great. He blew up. They emphasized him getting the ball because last week I think you did say he only had 1 reception. So they're like, we need to get this guy involved more. They were able to do that against a terrible team. And, they got... I got to see more. We were just talking about how Dak Prescott has a pretty good matchup going forward. Maybe he's going to continue to air the ball out as much as he can. Maybe he can be a player that you can start putting in on your team.
Yeah, so like I said, Dak has the 4th easiest playoff schedule, and I think the wide receivers for the Cowboys have the 7th easiest fantasy playoff schedule. So Brandon Cooks, if you want to just pick him up, if you got space down there and you don't really care, I'd rather have Michael Wilson. But hey, man, maybe Cooks turns into something here. I could be wrong. All right, Jason. My Vikings have a person on this list, TJ Hawkinson. People, they said, hey, should I start? It was on the pregame, on the live show on Sunday mornings, asking me if they should start TJ Hawkinson. I was like, oh, yeah, fuck yeah. And he's like, yeah, but even if he's limited, and I was like, you know what, dude? I don't really care if tight ends are limited that much. I care if, wide receivers and running backs are. Like, if they're coming back from injury or something, or Because just look at Kelsey earlier in the year. It's like, oh, he's limited. He's out there for a decoy. He went for like 150 yards. And then we see Hawkinson again. 28% target share, Jason, since Justin Jefferson has been out.
Yeah, he was projected by ESPN 8 points. He finished with 25, 11 receptions, 134 yards, 1 touchdown on 15 targets. Second player on this list with 11 receptions. 53% of shared team air yards is freaking awesome. Josh Dobbs knows he needs to throw to TJ. Just like last week, TJ also had 12 targets. Hawkins spent the same amount of time on the field as he did off the field because every time he got tackled, he got hurt.
I know, dude. I noticed that too.
But he kept coming out. He toughed it out and was Dobbs' favorite target.
Jason, he is fourth in red zone targets amongst tight ends on the year. The Saints were allowing the fourth fewest receiving yards to per game or whatever to tight ends. And here he had 100. He had 134. That's a season high. So it doesn't really matter, Jason. What your matchup is when you get targeted this much. 27 targets over the last 2 games with Dobbs. Until Justin Jefferson comes back and maybe past that, he is probably on the Kelsey-ish tier. Like I don't know how you can. I don't know how you could really differ. Yeah, it's pretty close, dude. No, he is. If Kelsey is 1, he is 1A.
Yeah. You can't really argue with that. If he's getting 15 targets, 11 receptions. If you're getting 11 receptions, you're likely getting over 100 yards. So
yeah, and Jason, he had only 1 catch in the second half, which was pretty interesting.
And that was the touchdown.
There you go. So, Jason, Hawkinson, if you have Hawkinson, you're not trading him. You could listen to trades about Kelsey, maybe. That's probably about it. But yeah, dude, tight end is such a huge advantage. Do not trade him unless it is for a Kelsey and it helps your team somehow.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Jason, you ready for the crashes?
On to the next.
And Hawkinson's going to continue. Like I said, I'm not going to even look at his fucking playoff schedule because it doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So Trevor Lawrence, Jason, he is leading off the crashes. I had to watch this game, dude, and I was like, holy shit.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was fucked up, man. It was fucked up because I was all telling people, don't start Ayuk, and then Ayuk caught it right off the bat, caught a touchdown. I was like, shit, dude. Then he was quiet for the rest of the game. But Trevor Lawrence, man, did not look good.
Yeah, let me pull up my stuff here. Trevor Lawrence was projected by ESPN 17 points, and he finished with 1. Singular.
Did he really?
Single. 1 point. He was 17 for 29, 185 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He was sacked 5 times. I think he had like 2 fumbles lost as well. 58 completion percentage, minus 2% expected completion percentage. The average completion air yard was 4.3, which was the bottom third heading into Sunday night when I was looking at these stats. And his average attended air yards was 7.2. Tyler, his aggressive percentage was top 10 with 20%, which means 20% of his attempts were into tight coverage with a defender within a yard of the receiver. Lawrence was a crasher in week 2 against the Chiefs. Besides that, he has been consistent scoring around like 17 points a week, but he struggles against good defensive lines.
Yeah, so our main concern, Jason, we're putting a lot of weight into offensive lines, and I was like, hey, dude, they lost their best offensive lineman, Jawan Taylor, to the Chiefs, and people from Duval County told me I was an idiot. Well, guess what? You're seeing it. So yeah, dude, if you're looking at a team with a lot of quarterback pressures, maybe avoid some of this. I don't know how you're going to avoid them, Jason, because, dude, I have this right here. I was like, I've got some good shit. Trevor Lawrence, he's ranked in the top 10 this season in weekly fantasy scoring just twice. He's been a top 10 quarterback in fantasy just 2 weeks out of the season. You drafted him because all the experts told you that he could be a top 5. I was one of those experts, Jason.
Yeah, I
was like,
so
hey,
too.
Dude, this is what you live for, man. This guy's got everything going for him. You got Ridley now.
Yeah, with the addition of Ridley.
But I was so high on him, and then they lost Jawan Johnson or Jawan Taylor, and I was like, I kind of pulled back and I gave a bunch of fucking asterisks, but still, I thought Trevor Lawrence was going to be a lot better. Dude, he has yet to throw more than 2 touchdowns in a game. Wait, no. Yeah. And he has just 2 games with multiple passing touchdowns. So he's got, 2 games with 2 touchdowns? And that's it. He does not have a game with 3 touchdowns. That's fucking crazy, Jason.
Yeah.
And then Calvin Ridley saw, 10% of Jacksonville's targets today? That was the second lowest target share of the season. And that was because of the time he had to throw, dude. It just wasn't there. I mean, and I think that when all this pressure is in his face, Kirk is his, Christian Kirk is his fail-safe. So he benefited from that.
Yeah, because his other fail-safe that we're going to go over did not benefit from it, but...
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point, Jason.
Yeah.
But Trevor Lawrence, man, if you have him, I would probably be taking steps to make a trade and upgrade my quarterback.
This is the thing. I'm glad that you said that. So
they have a terrible schedule.
This guy has reached 17 points 4 times. 4 times. His worst games were against teams with a great defensive line. So I'm looking at his playoff schedule right now. Week 14, Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Week 15, Baltimore. Week 16, Tampa Bay.
50-50, good, bad, maybe.
Yeah, but if you're making it to the playoffs, he's not winning you in the first round or 2.
So yeah, Jason, I would try to package a deal. Maybe look at the Christian Kirk owner, trade him to him or something, man. Try to get Sam Howell, for God's sakes. I don't fucking know. Do something.
Yeah, and I remember doing the player pause on Trevor Lawrence earlier. His 2 touchdown games were against the same opponent, the Colts.
Fuck, dude. Yep, there you go.
And he's not playing them anymore this year.
Yeah. So again, if you have Trevor Lawrence, try to package a deal and get a different quarterback. Sam Howell, if you have to.
I like Sam Howell. I started him this week in our 10-man.
I thought he was. I said somebody to start him, and then I felt bad, and then he threw a touchdown. He had 19 points, and I felt good. So, all right, Jason. Next up, Derrick Henry. I have not checked to see if he's been outsnapped yet. The stats have not been updated just yet, but I'm pretty sure he might have been outsnapped again. Derrick Henry, Jason. It is his worst year of his life. Not really of his life, because his first 2 years kind of sucked in the league, Jason.
Yeah.
But no, this is not good. Tell me what you think about Henry.
Okay, so King Henry, ESPN projected him at 14 points, and he finished with 2.5. He had 11 rushes for 24 yards, 0 touchdowns. He saw 8+ men in the box 45% of the time. That's regular Derrick Henry, one of the highest in the leagues. His rushing yards over expected per attempt was minus 1.01. But 45% of his rushing yards was over expected, which is crazy because he only had 24 rushing yards. But the dude only carried the ball 11 times. Henry needs 15 carries. He has only scored over 10 points once when having less than 15 carries. This is a bruiser back. This guy, he's very talented, but he's a guy that, it's not the first quarter that he's killing you. It's the fourth quarter and late third. That's when he needs it. But at that time, he's got 15 carries, 20 carries. He's just wearing down the defenders. He didn't get that opportunity this time.
Dude, Tyjae Spears had 80 yards, and Derrick Henry had, 20. Tyjae Spears had 9 touches. Derrick Henry had 12. Derrick Henry had 1 target. Tyjae Spears had 5. And when you see Tyjae Spears, he looks fucking awesome, so you can't blame them for using him. It's just, they should have traded, I heard this again 1,000 times today, they should have traded fucking Derrick Henry, man. They should have fucking traded him. They should have just fucking traded him. So, whatever. But yeah, Jason, Derrick Henry, I think, dude, running backs are so far and few between. Maybe I think I value him more because I am a Spears owner. But I would try to trade for Derrick Henry with the right scenario. Tennessee, Jason, has the 8th best running back schedule. Houston twice, and something else. So, still trading for Derrick Henry, I think, is a pretty decent idea.
And now you go, hopefully, maybe getting pretty low.
No, dude, right now is the fucking time to strike.
Yep.
It's like he's been outsnapped. It's like Kenneth Walker, but I just know that he's not going to lose his job. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty close. It's kind of funny how that works. And it's on a worse offense.
You just need to go into a Word document and you type up an article and put a picture of Sports Illustrated on it and say that, like, current rumor, Derrick Henry losing starting job to Tyjon Spears, and show that to the manager, the owner of Derrick Henry. And hopefully that would help.
I would hate to be in a league with some fucking James Snowden or whatever the fuck that is.
That's Snowden, yeah.
Well, did you see the information coming out? Just breaking news: Christian McCaffrey.
Here, I'll send you the link.
I'll send you the, yeah, it's now I just stole your data and your fucking. Guess what? Your cell phone is now mine.
Donations appreciated.
Oh, I like these pictures. All right, Jason. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Next up, what was I doing? Next up is Diontae Johnson. I told somebody to fucking start Diontae Johnson, Jason. He had an 18.2% target share and scored just 2.7 PPR points. That's his single lowest PPR total since week 8 of 2020. Fucking terrible, Jason. Terrible. I don't know what was going on in that game, dude, but he did not give a shit about Diontae Johnson for the first time.
Well, get some crazy stats coming out, but I had Diontae Johnson on. I started him, and the other wide receiver I started was Marquise Brown. Between the both of them, they scored me 3 points. And
I think that's like, good too.
I was like, either one of those is going to be on our crashes. Those were the two wide receivers I started. So, Diontae Johnson, ESPN projected 10 points, finished with 1.5. He had 1 reception of 17 yards on 14 targets. So, Tyler, he was tied first in targets for the Steelers with 4 other players. So 4 other players on that team had 4 targets.
Yeah, they spread it around.
Yeah, the Packers are tough against wide receivers, giving up 30 points a game to wide receivers. Packers are weak against they are weak against the run, allowing 23 points to running backs. And what did we see? Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren both scored touchdowns. Jaylen Warren got me 18 points. He had over 100 yards rushing. So, I mean, with Kenny Pickett as the quarterback for the Steelers, like, against that secondary, he tried getting Johnson the ball. I mean, the same amount of times he tried getting the other 3 players the ball. It wasn't going to work against that secondary. He also did drop a 30-yard pass, which would have helped owners like me out. I mean, but yeah. So, you got Kenny Pickett as your quarterback going against a Packers secondary that's pretty good. I just think they weren't able to connect. And this was more, I think, of Mike Tomlin, like, let's just run the ball. Let's get Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren involved in this running game. Let's just run it.
Yeah, I do think that's an outlier, Jason. I think that, George Pickens has failed to get a 20% target share in each of his last 3 games. He's also failed to score 10-plus PPR points in those games. So I don't think Pickens is even any competition for Diontae. Mm-hmm. Diontae should be just fine. I would try to trade for him this week if I could. I think he has like the 23rd best playoff schedule, so it's nothing great, but it's nothing fucking crazy. I kind of thought he was like matchup proof, Jason, but what you just said kind of makes sense. If a team is very weak against running backs, maybe because the Steelers are such a low scoring offense anyways, maybe the piece of the pie is just not big enough. So yeah, Jason, I think that trading forward, would you trade for Diontae Johnson after this week?
I think it's a good time to do low. I think
it's your only chance.
Yeah, I think if it's just in a game plan, this was a defense ground and pound type of game. There's going to be games where going into the playoffs, that's not going to happen because I'm pretty sure they play against the Bengals, the Browns, and the Ravens, and they're going to fall behind. They're going to have to pass.
Jason.
Yes.
Evan Ingram is the next crash. Did you know that he has a team-leading 21% target share on the year, but he has not scored a touchdown this year?
Isn't that stupid? Jeez. He, let me get this. Where am I at?
So he's been amazingly consistent.
Yes. ESPN projected 9 points from him. He finished with 3, 4 receptions, 12 yards, 0 touchdowns on 7 targets. He was second in targets for his team. He had the average separation of 3.6. But his intended air yards was 1.3. I think Trevor Lawrence threw a lot of oh shit passes to him because of the pressure from the 49ers. 49ers give up 8 points to tight ends. You're still playing, that's a tough matchup, but you're still playing Ingram moving forward. You're still doing it.
Yeah, so I mean, Evan Ingram, dude, it's like he was like sitting back and having a block like a motherfucker, and then when he got the ball, it was like, dude, there was just nothing was going right in that game. But dude, I mean, he's averaging like literally like 9 targets a game this year, and he gets anywhere from like 7 to 10 points a game. He is a tight end 13 on the year, and he's a tight end. He's a top 10 tight end play every week. So Jason, I would not, if I had Ingram, I would maybe try to package him to get a better tight end. Go try to get somebody that you can. I can't think off the top of my head right now, but
we were just talking about, who were we just talking about?
I was talking about Kelsey and Hawkinson, and I was thinking like if you could try to get Kincaid, but nobody's going to be giving up Kincaid right now. Trey McBride, stuff like that. But if you could package Ingram together with something and get a better tight end, I would. But if not, I would not be going out and trying to trade for Evan Ingram. That's for sure.
Not after the stats, but I mean, if you have them, you're playing them.
Oh yeah. All right, Jason, that is a show. Am I missing anything?
No.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we earned a thumbs up. Hopefully we earned a subscription. If you are not already subscribed, we need your help so we can do our shows on time, more higher quality content, faster content, everything else. So please support the show. That helps a lot. Jason, please send us out.
Okay, so what we got going on? We got player pause for Thursday night. I'm doing the Bengals. Tyler's doing the Ravens. He's going to tell everybody to pause.
Play Keaton. It's all going to be Keaton Mitchell plays. I'm going to have 7 plays. It's going to be all Keaton fucking Mitchells.
I said that. Did you hear me make that little comment about Miles Sanders? I'm like, Miles Sanders got 9 touches, but you're not starting him. He ain't no Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah, right. I know, dude. Yeah.
And then we are having a trade special Thursday night because there won't be any Friday or Saturday episodes. Tyler's got to make a trip.
Got a big trip. I got to go see Jason's, got to go give Jason some diapers and shit. And then, yeah.
For me.
So, anyways, that is the show. Right, Jason?
Yep, that's it.
Deuces.
So we'll talk to you later. Deuces.
Catch you on the flip side.